So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Bryant. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Throwing again. Bryant going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
60 outlaw. All day, baby. All day. All day. All day. Get it.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike.
Go. On the ready.
Operating from the gun. Costello into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 2nd down, it's Morton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh 1st.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Back to throw. Bryant, he's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Bryant. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it real.
Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, Everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Looking to throw. Costello. Man open. That's Kiki QT complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. Buying time was left. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete.
Bravo.
Off play action. Costello is going to float this over the middle deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
Come on, man. Let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. On 1st down, Morton. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. 2nd and 2. He'll get this one to Galladay. 20, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Kenny Galladay, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown. Point after try forthcoming. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Steelers 14, Packers nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Gets fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Their own 22-yard line.
On the
The
set.
Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 17. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that. You're trying to win the award again this week.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
At the 19-yard line.
44 is the mic. 44 is the mic. Squeeze, double. Kill.
To throw on 2nd down, Bryant. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Bryant into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jair Alexander. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Packers take over 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Check 55, Mike. Here we go. Mike. Leo. I don't think you got it, son. Go, now.
Off the play fake. Costello. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Desmond King picks it. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Let's put that team on the bus.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Looking deep downfield. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. Let me finish. You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But it looked like a Packer. Yeah, Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
I'm letting you know right now. You got it ready.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 11 more yards that go around. A 1st down as well.
94.
Back to throw again. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Hey, I said
2nd and 6. Escaping the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
Now Jones, and he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal. Okay, CD, second quarter, look at their deficit and where they're at on the field. They're going for this, right?
I think that they are, because down at this point, they've just made that big move. Ride the momentum wave while you can. I know people think, hey, you got to get some points here. Hey, you're riding it big time. Go get it done.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. From the gun, Bryant. Eluded, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Rashawn Gary gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Costello. And he comes back with one complete. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a 1st.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On 1st and 10, Costello. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Desmond King picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. On 1st down, Bryant. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Off play action. Bryant going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it, Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
with
right.
the Eagles. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin Bush charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. Now, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Now a pass, and it's complete to QT. And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough.
65.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Bryant, open man is Galladay, complete. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw. Bryant. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They run the counter. It's Morton, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll go as a loss of 5, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Strip that ball.
2nd and 15. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Rashawn Gary able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And his kick is indeed good. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. They'll keep it on the ground. Morton. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the third down stop. Operating from the gun, Bryant. They will find Davis. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. They'll run on first down. It's Morton, and he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Coming to you, coming to you.
To throw on 2nd down. Bryant, he's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 34-yard line. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. From the gun, Bryant. And he's got his man on the out route. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. This quarterback now just 7 of 16 passing thus far, but he's got a 1st and 10. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Packers pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast. Blitz coming, and down he goes. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep.
And he's going to go down again.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Mike, 5-5.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Costello, he's going to loft one deep. He's got a man, complete. And they finally are able to take him down at the opposite 47. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 42 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Jones. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Back to throw. Costello. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jordan. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
A throw over the middle taken in. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 32-yard line.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Strong right. 3 down, 3 down.
Operating from the gun, Costello. And now here is another interception. Picked off inside the 10. And a very good return as he takes this all the way up to the 35-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Yo, faster.
Hey, watch that.
From the gun, Costello. He sets to fire deep. It got his man complete. That goes for a gain of 31. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything.
And my goodness, another interception. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Check three.
They'll keep it on the ground. Morton. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
From the gun on 3rd down, Bryant. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this will be taken at the 13. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The safety blitz works perfectly that time for Landon Collins. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Operating from the gun, Costello. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 22. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
At the 22-yard line.
Ready, 22, he's coming, 26, right. 22, come. Set up.
On first down, it's Morton. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
You got ready.
Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
At the 22-yard line.
Off the play fake, Bryant. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point up and through. And the lead will swell by one more. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. He's going to loft one deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 40 yards. The 20. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Big Shaq Lawson gets the sack there.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And an alley to run. He's got room to run past the 20. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down.
Watch tight end. Tight right. Hey, 22, jet.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down. The Steelers send out their... And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. On the delay, Jones. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. From the gun, Costello. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Throwing on 1st down. Costello. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. This is caught, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches.
And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Steelers, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home